You are tuned in to Iggy's Fantasy and Betting, the podcast that puts trophies on your mantle and money in your pocket. Now, your host, coming to you high from the Rocky Mountains, IDP Iggy.
Hello and welcome. Sorry about the delay, YouTubers. Thank you for joining me today. It is July 19th on a Monday. Remember, guys, go sign up for the Kawasaki Kids Charity League. We only got a few spots left. Draft begins August 1st. Slow draft, baby, 4 hours. Because this is internationally. We got 3 continents. If anybody knows any Aussie fantasy football players or anybody in Asia or Africa, let me know, baby. Trying to get it up, trying to get the continent count up. All right. And if you want to check it out, what we're donating to, it's kawasakikids.org. Hashtag brave kids, hashtag strong hearts. You can check them out that way as well. Remember, guys, we're on all forms of social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Please go subscribe to the YouTube. It's Iggy's Fantasy and Betting. And then, you can check us out on our website, cranking out daily stories. Pumped one out for you the other day. It is Mock Mondaze, and we are going to get into the Kawasaki Kids Charity League mock draft. Let's go, baby. I've already got it going. I somehow drew the 11th spot again when I randomized it. I did not like that. But right now we got Patrick Mahomes off the board first, then C-Mac, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Dak Prescott, and Kyler Murray. So super flex league. It's pretty hard to Zeke's on the board, Jonathan Taylor's on the board, Tyreek. No wide receivers that came off the board. Super flex league, I got to go quarterback. We're taking Josh Allen with the 11th overall pick. I'll take it any day of the week. Let's go, baby. Josh Allen. Then we had JT, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb. It's things. When you're drafting in the 11th spot, you have to come back down, and there's still a lot of players there for you. We got to grab a running back. It's going to be 22 picks before I get to come back up. Like I said, guys, I'm doing this all on the Fantasy Wizard at the Draft Wizard on Fantasy Pros, guys. You got the affiliate code. Click on the link. Get a discount. Get to draft for free. Figure out what I'm doing. Like I said, this is a big part of how I win. I do so many more drafts. I'm doing it against an educated computer, not just a dumb computer. And we get to check it out from there. Man, there are already 12 RBs off the board. I got to take one. They're telling me Cam Akers is good. This is what we're looking at. Cam Akers, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift, Chris Carson. I got to go with my man Najee Harris. I do not have faith in Cam Akers like the rest of the people out there. All right, I think he has a good possibility, but I think Najee Harris is going to be a workhorse. He's going to be the rookie workhorse that so many rookies go this route. You can think about it for a long time. Like I said, I rode Alfred Morris, a fantasy football name that's forgotten. I rode him to a championship. He had like 10 touchdowns and 1,400 yards his rookie year. On top of that, we also have AP had a good rookie year. I'm trying to think who else. Mark Ingram had a pretty decent one. They happen. They come around. Just you don't have to wait for running backs to be good. It's quite the opposite. The running backs have about a 5 or 6 year kind of NFL life, and they're kind of done. That's why Saquon Barkley is doing a lot of what he's been doing. All right, let's go and see who some of the players taken off the board right before this. I'm not going to read all 22 of them, but we do have a few. Let's see. And what's cool about the Wizard is it plugs the team's names in there for you. So it's just like you're actually playing against the people you want. Tom Brady, Michael Thomas, Chris Carson, George Kittle, one of the few off the board. Like I said, I go to this cheat sheet, I take off the drafted players, and it brings them up. Man, I got to take David Montgomery. What quarterbacks are there? Ryan Tannehill, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Matt Ryan, Still plenty of guys falling late. Don't forget this is an IDP draft. This is going to take us a little bit to get through. No big deal. David Montgomery's coming off the board, baby. We're loading up at the running back position. In a 16-team league, you better make sure you get running backs. All these people are like, well, you got too many running backs. You got to. Don't listen to them. Most of them have never played a 16-team league, I guarantee it. It's what separates. It's the kids' table to the grown-up table. When you get up here, there's not too many people that can give you this kind of advice. All right. We got Josh Jacobs, Myles Gasket, Mike Davis on the turn, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods. It looks like every single IDP is still available. I'm going to wait. I really like to take an IDP earlier, right around now, but we'll hold off. We're going to get our offense going. I'm going to take Mike Davis. We're going to hold off on the wide receivers. You can run 4 running backs in this league. It's, once again, to tell you the offensive side, it's 7 on 7. So keep it in mind. You always have 7 offensive, 7 defensive, and you got a kicker. So there's 15 roster positions at all time. Pretty amazing. And to let you know that, though, it's also quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex, doesn't have to be a tight end, and a super flex. So that's your 7. And then on the defense, it's defensive lineman, linebacker, defensive back, and then 3 flex IDPs, plus a team defense that scores a lot of points in this format. So if you're trying to figure out what to do for this charity league, I'm telling you, that's one of the better options you can take. Now we're getting into Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm going to go ahead and take Devin White. I'm going to take the best IDP out there, the one I foresee having the best season, and we're going to roll with it. All right. I could have took a wide receiver. I took one before. I took an IDP before I took a wide receiver or my quarterback too. That should tell you a lot about what's going on. Trevor Lawrence off the board. Aaron Donald just came off, second IDP. Sam Darnold off the board. It's my turn to draft. So let's go look at the roster real quick. I got a roster button, of course. Josh Allen, Najee Harris, David Montgomery, Mike Davis, and Devin White. Right now, we still got so much to fill up in this league. This is what's so fun about this league. It's a lot of positions. Let's go back and look. We got Chase Edmonds. We got Odell Beckham, Chase Claypool, DJ Chark Jr. I think right now we have to go pull our second QB. We're kind of getting in this dangerous land of who the heck is going to be there. And Ryan Fitzpatrick's there. Baker Mayfield's there. Tua Tagovailoa, Daniel Jones, Derek Carr, Justin Fields. I think I got to go Baker Mayfield here. Round out the top one. When does his bye? That's an important one. I've already got one quarterback on a week 7 bye. It's Cleveland, so we're good. We're going to draft it, baby. Here we go. Boom. Knocked up our quarterback week 13 bye. Nothing to worry about. We got him in our super flex. Still no wide receivers taken in this draft. You're going to have to pick where you're going to want your weakness. 16 teams and this many roster positions. You're not going to have a stud roster all the way across. That's just not how it goes. All right. Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Justin Fields, Myles Garrett off the board. I think it's time we go get a wide receiver maybe. I'm going to load up with Deebo Samuel. I think there's a lot of potential there. A lot of quick passes to him. If he can just stay healthy, the potential's there. So Deebo Samuel off the board, and we're going to backdoor that with another one. We're going to do a double down, what you guys call a stack. I call a double down from a gambling perspective. And I'm going to go get Jarvis Landry, high PPR volume. Going to pair him with Baker Mayfield. That's a potential to go off. 5 touchdowns, 101 targets, 72 receptions, 840 yards. And he did all that with broken ribs last season. I have no concern with Jarvis Landry, one of my guys. One of my go-to guys. All right, 118th selection, man. We don't even have half the roster filled out. That's how 16-team leagues are. You better get it deep. And if that's why I send everybody the draft kit, if you pay $10 at least to the charity league, it's all donation based. If you pay at least $10, I'll give you the draft kit for free. You don't have to worry. All that info is there for you. You will have plenty of people. Just mark them off and go and pick one as it comes up. It's that simple. We got James Conner, Zach Moss, Gus Edwards, A.J. Dillon, Jamal Williams. All on the board. It's kind of hard to pass up James Conner right now. We also have Chanel Jr. Defenses are all still on the board. Kickers are on the board. Tight end, we're up to Kyle Pitts. No strategy, I may not go Kyle Pitts. Defensive linemen fly off the board on this mock, all right? So just be leery of that. Got Darius Leonard, Roquan Smith, Budda Baker, Jamal Adams, Bobby Wagner, all still there. I think I got to go James Conner. You just can never have enough running backs in this format. Let's see. James Conner off the board. We're loading up our first bench player. Only 5 bench players going to have to keep a rotation going. 5 bench players for 16 roster positions is very difficult. But you do get 2 IR spots, and Sleeper's a little lenient with their IR spot, so you should be funneling people into there on a weekly basis. We still have Chanel Jr., Antonio Brown, Corey Davis, Michael Gallup. Looks like they're starting to take out the IDPs. Yeah, they're still going. Tight ends are there. We're in the Zach Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater, Jimmy Garoppolo range. Tyrod Taylor's still there. He's going to be my sneak late pick. Let's see who else we got. Darrell Henderson, Phillip Lindsay. Ooh, J.D. McKinsic's still there, 50. Everybody has McKinsic ranked way too low. Way too low, okay? There's a good chance Gibson may not play the full season. And on top of that, McKinsic had like 80 catches last year. He had as much as wide receivers last year. Do not be stupid. Do not let him slip through the cracks. All right, we're going to go ahead and load up the defensive position. We're going to go ahead and get Darius Leonard. I think he's one of the best linebackers in the game. I can't believe he's still available at this point. That might not happen in the league of record. Darius Leonard doesn't really fall that much, so just be prepared for that. I always take a mock with a grain of salt, but what I like about this one is it's not just, for example, they didn't just take offensive players. A lot of mocks you go do with IDPs, they just, like at the very end, they'll just throw out 3 IDPs on their board. This at the Draft Wizard on Fantasy Pros, they go about it a little bit different, and it's really appreciative. All right, Devin White, Darius Leonard. Let's see, let's get Buda Baker right here. Okay, J.D. McKinsic came up. I can't let him go. I may be getting too many running backs, but you got 2 flexes, all right? So it's not like you can ever really have too much of one position. It's just your philosophy that you go about it. I picked him up at 171, J.D. McKinsic, to let you guys know how much he's been falling. Oh, Clowney off the board. Wilkins off the board. Lindell Joseph off the board. Here comes the IDP run. We better go hop on it. The defensive linemen are down to, we're down to Sheldon Richardson, Suze, so they have depleted that. The linebackers, we still have Roquan Smith, we still have Buda Baker, we got Jeremy Chin, Jamal Adams, Derwin James Jr. I'm going to take Buda Baker. I don't know why I wouldn't. I'm not really stacked at the wide receiver position, and Chanet's just sitting there at 42 overall. You know what, let's just take him. I can't let him go. Let's add some depth to that offensive wide receiver room. Sometimes you just can't let it go, got a big clap. He's ranked at 128. I picked him up at 182. That's what another thing I like about the Draft Wizards here. They kind of tell you, hey, you made a good move there, and if that happens, be prepared. That might not be there when you go to your draft, but they let you know when you make a good move. They let you know when you kind of maybe reach for somebody also. And here we go. Buda Baker's still there, so right call all the way around. We're taking Buda Baker. Going to head up the secondary of our defense. We're almost got all our rosters picked out here. They're saying, they told me I picked Buda Baker too early, but then Derwin James, Jeremy Chin, and Jamal Adams all went off the board. So did I pick him too early? Probably not. That was probably a smart pick. Ooh, the defenses are starting to fly off the boards. Let's see. We got Indianapolis Colts, Washington. I'm gonna take the Colts defense in the AFC South. They got Houston, Jacksonville. Tennessee is going to be a tough one, but I have high aspirations for the Colts. Keep in mind, guys, you need to look at the vaccination rate of a lot of teams. Several of these teams, including the Colts, are under 50%. The NFL's already said they will not cancel games. They won't reschedule games, so it's either a forfeit. If you can't play or they foresee that you're in trouble, it's going to be a forfeit. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of these players a lot of teams you need to keep up on this. Let's see. So we're up there. We had our defense. We doubled down with Darius Leonard and the Indianapolis Colts. We got Corey Davis, Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, Devontae Parker. A lot of good talent still out there. Sony Michel, Darrell Williams, Tyrod Taylor. I'm gonna risk it and see if Tyrod will make it down another round. Zach Cunningham, Von Bell. The IDPs are starting to come off the board, guys. There's no doubt about it. I don't have a tight end. We still got Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant. Dallas Goedert could lead the could lead the Philadelphia Eagles in receptions. That's no jive, but I'm just an IDP guy, guys. I got to go take Zach Cunningham. You don't sit that many tackles. You don't need that many tackles out there on the board. All right, you want one success for IDP, for you people drafting new IDPs, look at the high tackle volume. It doesn't matter. Like that's like the basic stat. That's like getting a yard receiving or a yard. Like it's more than a yard. It's like getting 10 yards receiving, 15 yards receiving, 15 yards rushing. It's very important that you kind of pay attention to that. But if you're in doubt, always get a guy with a high tackle volume because he's going to have his ceiling naturally be lower. All right, just a bit of advice for you. They got Fred Warner in the tier. I'm not falling for that baloney. Man, he didn't make it. Quarterbacks are off. You're in the backups. You're in Mac Jones, Jordan Loves, Davis Mills, Mitchell Trubisky's of the world. That's hard. Jacoby Brissett, he's, I think, one of the most valuable backups, and they could still bring him in how he was used in Indianapolis, near the goal line, on 4th and 1s. And Tua Tagovailoa, let's just face it, he gets hurt a lot. So Jacoby Brissett could be a sneaky backup QB pick for you guys looking for there. We got Corey Davis, signed a huge deal to become a Jet. You know what? Michael Gallup's right below him. I'm going to take the guy with the better quarterback. And that quarterback, of course, is Dak Prescott. Give me Dak Prescott over Zach Wilson any day of the week. All right, he was ranked 136 and got picked up at 246. Heck of a value on the guy. Well, let's see here. On our bench right now, we got James Conner, J.D. McKissick, Shelnut Jr., and Michael Gallup. All right, so we got 4 offensive guys already on the bench. We only have one more spot. We're getting into some bad kickers. Man, New Orleans Saints, I'm glad I took my defense. Levante David's still available. Can't really backdoor him with Devin White. That's not too smart. We are in the back end of the range. I'm looking at Hargrove, Robinson, Mark Ingram III. I'm looking at free agents for my defensive linemen. So sometimes when the draft board starts falling in a different way, if you don't want to get left behind in that position, you may have to do something for it to look yourself. Let's see. I got to go ahead. We're loaded up. I gotta grab a kicker. I'm going to grab Blankenship. I have no regrets. I'm kind of loaded up on the Colts. May not be the smartest thing, but I do have Darius Leonard, Blankenship, and Colts defense. So if it's a low-scoring game, it could really work out to my favor for the Colts, but also just getting all those kicker points in case Carson Wentz can't punch it in the end zone. All right, Jonathan Taylor can't punch it in the end zone. All right, defensive lineman. We've only got 2 more spots. Let's see. Devin Bush Jr., Demario Davis. TJ Watt somehow is ranked 18th on this, the way they do Fantasy Pros. That is an awful ranking. He's one of the highest IDPs. There's no way he's going to make it to whatever just happened. 278th overall pick. No. TJ Watt could be gone in the 4th, 5th round in a redraft league with offensive players. So just be leery of that. I took him because why not? If he's there, take him. And he hybrid into my defensive line position. So they have hybrid positions here. That's a cheat code. I let all those defensive linemen go, and I was able to get Zadarius or TJ Watt for relatively nothing. Demario Davis is there. I'm going to take Isaiah Simmons. It might be a little bit of a reach. I'm kind of loaded up on linebackers. It's pretty much one of my strategies. I'll maybe run 1 defensive lineman, 1 or maybe 2 defensive backs. If you got Budda Baker, not probably going to play too many more defensive backs in front of him. So I just loaded it up at linebacker. We're picking our last pick already. Not too bad. See, in 20 minutes, I got a 16-team, 15 roster position draft done in less than 20 minutes on this show. Less than 15, really, because I did the introduction. So that's how useful the draft wizard at Fantasy Pros is. Click the affiliate link, get the discount, get in there, start drafting. You need to have about 10 mock drafts per league with the scoring system. Remember, you just plug the scoring, you just tell them where you're playing at. Fantasy Pros plugs in your scoring system. You don't have to do anything. It's freaking great. So with the last pick overall, it's kind of interesting. Who do you take? I'm loaded up on the offensive position. I feel like I got to grab a good DB. We'll grab Taylor. There's some good ones. Justin Reed, Keanu. Let's see. All right. We still got a few good choices here. We're going to go ahead and grab another DB. I said Budda Baker, we didn't. But when I'm looking out there at the wide receivers, Corey Davis still, Mike Williams. I just already have 2 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, and I have no help on the defensive end. So even in a 16-team league, you could be surprised at who makes it down here, who doesn't get drafted. McCole Hardman's still there, T.Y. Hilton, Marvin Jones, Michael Pittman Jr., Devontae Parker, Mike Williams, Corey Davis. Some of these teams are still loaded up at that position. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to draft Taylor Rapp. I think the Rams are going to have to play a little bit more time on defense than they anticipate. And he's going to be improving, and he's going to be asked to step it up with all those departures that they had over there. So that wraps it up. That's the draft for us, That's how it breaks down. Fantasy Pros did it in less than 20 minutes, got it out. I got an 83 out of 100 at a consensus of 94 experts. I'm going to share this onto Twitter so you guys can see it. Let me know what you think. And it's a good way to find out how to draft in such a large format. I realize this is a lot larger than most people are used to. It makes you kind of evaluate talent a little better and choose who you're going to draft, because the waiver wire is going to be thin. You're going to have to make it to the championship with about the bulk of your draft. All right, so let's break it down. Got Josh Allen, Najee Harris, David Montgomery, not a bad big 3. Wide receiver, I waited a little bit. We got Deebo Samuel, Jarvis Landry, Mike Davis in our flex, Baker Mayfield in the super flex. Got the Colts defense. Also have Rodrigo Blankenship, kind of doubled down right there. Got T.J. Watt in the defensive line, Devin White, Buda Baker. Those are the starting 3. In the flex, I chose linebackers, Darius Leonard, Zach Cunningham, Isaiah Simmons, James Conner, J.D. McKissick, Laviska Shenault, Michael Gallup, Taylor Rapp. That's the bench. And you'll have 2 IR spots. So keep that going. And that's just it. Let me know what you think. Guys, I'm going to be having surgery today, like in a few hours. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do Tuesday's show. Maybe not Wednesday. There's going to be a couple days I won't be able to do it, So having said that, I'm going to try to be here. So I know how I am. Bill Belichick would be proud. I'm a no days off kind of guy. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It's on my nose, so there's a good chance I'll be out of it. There's a good chance even if I could do it, you won't be able to understand me at all. So I just appreciate everybody. Remember, check it out. We got the Kawasaki Charity League. We got all kinds of stuff that will be going, on for you. And let me know what you thought about this draft. If you have any questions about the Charity League, let me know, guys, and I appreciate it. Like I said, normally close out a special way, but I got surgery in a couple hours and I can't. Just wish me luck, and I hope to be with you guys tomorrow, and all the best. Take care.